What's up, everybody? How's everybody adjusting to our 12.0 patch? I know you guys love it, don't you? So right now I've just been chilling. Did a little bit of grinding, not too much. Doing this heroic here. Going through that. Messing around with Realm of Legends. You guys seen it. I did a video of that. Against Winter Soldier. The other champs aren't too hard either, but this is old content. The newer contact road to the labyrinth. Actually, it's pretty difficult right now, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I can still do it, don't get me wrong, but it would cost some revives. It would definitely not be free. I would have to go to my stockpile, which I have plenty of, and use a few of those. So the Wolverine, I'd say at 4.4, once it starts getting difficult, 4.5, 4.6 obviously, and, being the hardest. Who would you use against that Wolverine? You can't really hit him, because he's going to regen all or nothing, so Star-Lord wouldn't really work. With that spiked armor too. Every time you critical hit him, you lose some of your health. I would say Quake is an option. Abomination is an option. Electro is an option, Any of those people on Wolverine, it's going to cost some revives. Wolverine let him poison himself against Abomination. It'd be pretty epic, beating him that way. Boost, with the health boost, and let him beat himself up, or let him beat you up, cut you up. Poison himself. So I haven't used Doctor Strange since the update. Let me know, guys, who would you use against this Wolverine here? All or nothing with the spiked armor. You can't really hit him, like I said, because he's going to regen. I used Black Widow when this came out. Obviously she didn't let him regen, so it made it easy. Used a couple revives, obviously, still, because all or nothing, but, that was okay. So you see that spiked armor there? That's the issue here. Especially with the game, the way the game is right now, you really can't block, and then you're also getting screwed by that spiked armor. All or nothing on that Wolverine too, so. Yep, even if you use Doctor Strange, special 3 him, then you could hit him a little bit, when he's under that sealed. You're still going to give him a special 3. Still going to use some revives. Not too big of a deal. You can make it through this still. Obviously wait until Monday. Until they make the game a little bit easier for you guys. I'm just messing around. Seeing how it is with this. Before Monday, I wanted to see how this was. Obviously, LOL was, not too bad. I would say Winter Soldier. Or not Winter Soldier. What's that other guy name? War Machine, I would say he would be pretty difficult. Falcon. Anybody you have to block a special on, Magic would be a nightmare. So the, difficulty definitely went up. Obviously, the road difficulty obviously went up. Doctor Strange, he's still pretty decent with the Mystic Dispersion on, but it looks like they killed his regen. 77 per tick was pathetic. Me and Doctor go way back, way before this game. So, he's one of my favorite characters in Marvel. It was awesome when he was one of the top champs, and now he's pretty much doo-doo. Well, I mean, he's still a really good champ, but his regen is doo-doo, I should say. You gotta have some regen champs with all these crazy nodes coming out trying to counter the regen. Degen, Starburst. Spiked armor, all that stuff. I mean, how do you expect to deal with it when you don't have regenerated champs? Obviously with revives, potions, I get that. Which is cool that they made more units accessible, through the arena. I got a decent amount of units, because I did both the arenas. I did 1 million in both. So, and that was pretty easy for me to do. Obviously, sometimes I'll be super busy. I won't even be able to do that. So obviously this road here is going to be real difficult, once Wolverine comes around. So, hopefully they'll make it easier for you guys come Monday, and, it won't cost you that much, because it was pretty easy for me to get through this, which sucks for you guys now. But it is what it is. Obviously it's not fair. Life isn't fair. Video games sometimes aren't fair either. as you guys know, with this crazy update here, screwing everybody else that started this game and obviously has to do this content. If they got 550s, 4 stars, it's gonna be rough. I'm not gonna lie, but still doable. So that 4.6 is probably gonna be the hardest, even though you don't have that Wolverine all or nothing, to get through. Look at these champs here. You really ain't even gonna block. So I'm not even gonna try to attempt these guys here. Obviously I can beat these guys, but I don't want to spend revives. Possibly if I have to. And I'm just an average player here. Sometimes I do some really good things, but I'm here for some fun, and you guys try to get through this. It's gonna be rough for you guys, so I would wait until Monday, see what they do, and then continue on with the harder content. So I'm going to get back to this heroic, mess around there, and get to the master quickly.